Okay, Cowboy Nation, quick question. You know when you say quick question, it's not a quick one. Do we have secondary issues with the Dallas Cowboys? Is there a situation in a scenario where we can look at this thing and say, all right, there are secondary issues because of we don't know who's going to play on the opposite side of Trevon Diggs. Will it be Anthony Brown? Will it be Nahshon Wright? Will it be also Boss Man Fat? I'm hearing stories about Maurice Kennedy. Now keep in mind, pay attention. Maurice Kennedy is a slot DB. Plays inside the slot, goes against the wide receivers with two-way goals. I'm thinking that when you look at his skill set, he's physical enough, got a great deed of redirect, get his hands inside pretty well, and he know how to jump routes pretty good. So do we have an issue, ladies and gentlemen, with the secondary? Now, Trevon Diggs last season, the first part of the season, one can argue and say, man, this is the kid going through some growing pains, right? And he may not seem as if, though, he would ever turn the corner around for the cornerbacks. And then a little bit by little bit, his playing legs got up under him, and everything seems and appears to be legit. Like, man, we got us a gem out of Trevon Diggs. I recall saying that, man, I would love to see Trevon Diggs matched up with a Byron Jones because of the fact that now you have two solid cornerbacks. And my dog Cheeto Woozier last season, he got injured at the wrong time. Then they were playing musical chairs on that cornerback side over there. And it was just terrible for us on collectively speaking with cornerbacks. You guys remember the gauntlet of, oh, man, this guy getting beat. Oh, let's bring in a Rashard Robinson. Let's try to flex Daryl Worley of the worlds out there, right? Oh, he's more of a safety. Let's kick him back outside. You know, it was crazy, Cowboy Nation. Just couldn't get our feet right. And, of course, Anthony Brown, he got injured, tried to play through it. He still managed to get 2 interceptions last season. And then Jourdan Lewis, come on, he was Jourdan Lewis in this particular defense last season. So we are looking at everything from A to Z, and we'll say to ourselves, are we having any concerns still with this secondary? Now, the following preseason games, we got to pay close attention to it because this secondary unit, not just the cornerbacks, but also the safeties, they have to step up to a point whereas if this front four is creating pressure on a consistent basis, we can't just be sitting there looking at the ball go by our heads. No, we need guys that can make plays on the ball and also not get beat deep. You need that safety over the top to make sure that he controls everything and keep everything in front of him. And I'm quite sure Damontae Kazee can bring that level of activity. But when we look into this particular training camp, the guys that stood out and shine, of course, Maurice Kennedy. Number 2, Nahshon Wright. Number 3, Boss Man Fat. Will these guys stand firm? And the reason why I'm saying Nahshon Wright, because he had majority of the snaps opposed to Boss Man Fat from what we were able to see. And then on top of that, at least Nahshon Wright, we can look at tape and say, okay, he was up against CeeDee Lamb or he was up against Michael Gallup. You don't see that much of Boss Man Fat up against the number ones, but that first preseason game, he was solid, kept everything in front of him. And the other part of it, we don't know the pitch count. Like, they might have him on a certain level of pitch count that we don't get to see him up against the ones as much because he had that pandemic stuff, which was reported. So the Cowboys may be looking at it like, let's not rush this man. And we don't know the science of it, of how long this stuff can linger around. Could it be for 1 week? Could it be for 2 weeks? Some bounce back within 3 weeks. Some take 3 months or more. Some people had it last season and still having complications with breathing and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of unknowns, uncertainty. But if I'm a betting man, if I'm a betting one, I got my bottom dollar on Trevon Diggs being who he was last year to replicate that and let this spill over for the 2021 season. And I believe that Damontae Kazee being the safety over the top will help out in so many factors. So my starting lineup will be this. And hear me out. Give me Trevon Diggs, Damontae Kazee. Those are my two guys that are going to work out with each other as far as the free safety over the top and the number one cornerback in Trevon Diggs. My strong safety would be Donovan Wilson. He will be that arm and hammer that you would need in a situation where somebody's trying to come across the top or somebody come down across the middle. He can cover the hook and he can cover the edges there. Give me him as it relates to that. And it will be versatile enough far as Jourdan Lewis. I'm thinking that he made a spot on his team. He may be a spot for him. Let me know, Cowboy Nation, as far as the backup. Jourdan Lewis or Darian Thompson. Let me know how you guys will feel with that. But neither here nor there. Our two safeties for right now will be Damontae Kazee and Donovan Wilson. My other cornerback, to me, will be boss man fat, Kelvin Joseph, for those who don't know. And when you get into the red zone, opportunities, maybe, just maybe, you substitute Nahshon Wright into the mix. I'm not saying you play cornerback by committee, but that will be the flow of things. I think that boss man fat will give you a better coverage ability for longer plays and these sorts of things as far as recovery speed, just smooth hips and things like that. But as far as red zone opportunity, I'm just thinking, just my opinion and my observation, you have packages that you put Nahshon Wright in, and 6'4" is hard to make up, right? It's only God can give you that. And then my starting slot corner or nickel corner, Maurice Kennedy. Well, what to do about Jourdan Lewis and Anthony Brown? Nothing spectacular. They didn't showcase amazing things during this training camp. Jourdan Lewis, maybe he just been solid enough to stand in front of certain passes and not giving up on plays. I'll give Jourdan Lewis that. But Anthony Brown, I'm not trying to bury him. No. But from my natural eyes, all I can see is what Anthony Brown is doing, is what he's been doing since 2016. Same guy. Nothing more, nothing less. In 2016, that was his best year, believe it or not. So that is how I'm viewing things. But the only place that we don't have reservations on are these two spots. Three, actually. Trevon Diggs, I don't have no worries with him. Maurice Kennedy, I have no worries with him with the sample size that we were able to see during training camp. And as well as with those two safety looks. No worries with Damontae Kazee and Donovan Wilson. Those are my three areas that I don't have no worries with. But I'm just having a little reservation with the other cornerback. Because now we know that there will be a growing pain situation. And I want to know, will the Cowboys have enough patience like they had with Diggs to throw the young player in the deep end, let him learn to swim by himself, and see will he play himself to be ready around week 3, week 4, etc. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below, Cowboy Nation, of the secondary starting lineup for you. Leave a reason why, if possible. Or you can just post a list and say, okay, these are my guys. These are the guys that will start for the Dallas Cowboys as it relates to the secondary. Oh, it's going to be scary. And what to do with Darian Thompson. Or Jourdan Curse? Or would you go with the familiar? Darian Thompson been on his team for a minute. The known versus the unknown, right? Post me that thought down below, Cowboy Nation. Oh, and please post me if you had a choice, Maurice Kennedy, Anthony Brown, Jourdan Lewis. Who you got inside that slot? That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. We out. Peace.